Welcome, everyone. Today, we are not talking about motivation. We are not talking about success tips. We are not talking about habits or money or productivity. Today, we are talking about the most powerful force in your life, your mind, the thing that controls your decisions, your reactions, your fears, your confidence, your habits, your future. Most people are not defeated by life. They are defeated by their own mind. They lose in their thoughts before they ever lose in reality. They give up internally before they fail externally. They doubt themselves before they try. And then they say, life is hard. But life did not stop them. Their mind did. And here's the dangerous truth. If your mind is weak, even opportunity looks scary. If your mind is strong, even problems look like training. Your mind can be your prison, or your weapon. And in this video, I will show you how it works, how your thoughts shape your identity, how your beliefs silently control your behavior, how your subconscious mind runs your life without you even noticing, and most importantly, how to take control. Because once you control your mind, you control your direction. And once you control your direction, you control your life. And as you watch this video, you're also improving your English naturally. Listen carefully, learn new words, and train your mind at the same time. If you want powerful life lessons while improving your English, make sure you subscribe. Chapter 1. The Hidden Truth. Your mind creates your life. Your life today is not random. It is the result of repeated thoughts. Let me explain this very clearly. Everything starts with a thought. A thought becomes a decision. A decision becomes an action. An action becomes a habit. A habit becomes your identity. And your identity becomes your destiny. This is the chain. Thought, decision, action, habit, identity, destiny. If you change the first part, you change everything after it. But most people try to change their destiny without changing their thinking. That never works. You may think thoughts are small, but they are not small. They are seeds. If you plant thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I always fail, I'm unlucky, those thoughts slowly become beliefs, and beliefs become limitations. Then you start behaving according to those beliefs. You don't try fully. You don't take risks. You don't push yourself. And then you say, see, I failed. But you didn't fail because of reality. You failed because of the belief you accepted. From childhood, you were programmed by parents, by teachers, by society, by experiences, by failures, by fear. Maybe someone once said, you're not smart. Maybe you failed once and decided, I'm bad at this. Maybe you were embarrassed and decided, I should stay quiet. These small emotional moments created deep beliefs, and those beliefs started controlling your actions, without you even noticing. That is the power of the mind. It runs silently, but it runs everything. Imagine two students preparing for the same exam. Both have the same book, the same teacher, the same time. One student thinks, this is difficult, but I can learn it. The other thinks, I'm bad at this subject, I'll probably fail. Who studies harder? Who focuses more? Who stays longer when it gets tough? The first one. Not because they are smarter, because their thought created energy. The second student loses before starting. That is how powerful thinking is. Your mind does something very important. It filters what you see. If you believe the world is unfair, you will notice unfairness everywhere. If you believe people can't be trusted, you will notice betrayal everywhere. If you believe you are capable, you will notice opportunities everywhere. Same world, different filter. Your mind is the filter. Change the filter. Change the experience. Here is how people stay stuck. They think negatively. They act weakly. They get poor results. They use those poor results as proof. Then they think even more negatively. And the loop continues. The mind creates reality. Reality reinforces the mind. And most people never break the loop. But you can. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This is powerful. If you can observe a thought, it means you are not that thought. If your mind says, "I'm not confident," you can say, "That is just a thought." And once you question a thought, it loses power. This is where control begins. Most people try to change their behavior, but behavior is a result. Thought is the root. If you fix the root, the fruit changes automatically. If you keep the root negative, the fruit will always be weak. Your mind is not small. It is the control center. It decides whether you try, whether you quit, whether you believe, whether you grow, whether you become powerful. You don't need a new life. You need a new level of thinking, because the life you want is built in the mind first. Chapter 2. You lose in your mind before you lose in reality. Most people are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by imagination. They lose in their head before they ever step into the battle. Before someone starts a business, they think, "What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I lose money?" Before someone speaks English, they think, "What if I make mistakes? What if they judge me? What if I look stupid?" Before someone goes to the gym, they think, "What if I can't stay consistent? What if I quit again?" And what happens? They stop. Nothing external stopped them. No one attacked them. No real failure happened. But mentally, they already failed. That is the power of the mind. Your brain is designed to protect you, but sometimes it protects you too much. It imagines worst-case scenarios. It creates fear from imagination. And imagination feels real. Your heart beats faster. Your body becomes tense. Your confidence drops, even though nothing has happened. This is called mental defeat. And mental defeat is more dangerous than real defeat. Because real defeat teaches you. Mental defeat stops you from trying. There are always two voices inside you. Voice 1 says, "Go, try, grow, risk, improve." Voice 2 says, "Stay safe. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't try." Most people listen to the safe voice because it feels comfortable. But comfort is expensive. Comfort costs growth. Comfort costs opportunity. Comfort costs potential. The mind chooses comfort, but success chooses courage. People think confident people are born confident. Wrong. Confident people win small battles in their mind daily. They feel fear, but they act anyway. They feel doubt, but they move anyway. They feel discomfort, but they continue anyway. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is action despite fear. And that action begins in the mind. Think about something you avoided. A phone call, an exam, a conversation, a new opportunity. Before doing it, your mind created 100 problems. But after you did it, what happened? Most of the fear disappeared. Because reality is rarely as scary as imagination. The mind exaggerates. Reality educates. But if you never step into reality, you stay trapped in exaggeration. When your mind says, "I can't," you must ask, is that fact or fear? When your mind says, "This is risky," you must ask, or is this growth? When your mind says, "I'll fail," you must say, "Then I'll learn." That small override is powerful because it shifts control from fear to logic. And once logic leads, you move forward. Your mind predicts pain, but it cannot predict your strength. You are stronger than your fear, but you will never discover that strength. If you obey fear every time, most people live small lives because they lost battles that never happened. Don't be one of them. Win in your mind. Then step into reality. Chapter 3. The Subconscious Mind. The 95% Control System. Why you repeat habits. Why change feels hard. Why you sabotage yourself. Why you react automatically. Because 95% of your behavior is subconscious. That means most of your life is running on autopilot. Your conscious mind is the driver. But your subconscious mind is the engine. And the engine is powerful. What is the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind stores beliefs, habits, emotional memories, repeated thoughts, deep identity. It is like a storage system. Whatever you repeat emotionally, it stores. If you repeatedly say, "I'm bad at this," it stores. If you repeatedly fail and say, "See, I'm useless," it stores. If you repeatedly avoid discomfort, it stores. And once something is stored deeply, it becomes automatic. That is why change feels difficult, because you are fighting old programming. When you wake up and check your phone without thinking, that is subconscious. When you react angrily without planning, that is subconscious. When you procrastinate automatically, that is subconscious. You don't decide consciously. The pattern decides for you, and the pattern lives in the subconscious. If deep inside you believe, "I'm lazy," you will behave lazily. If deep inside you believe, "I'm not disciplined," you will avoid discipline. Because your subconscious always tries to match your identity. It wants consistency, even if that consistency is negative. That is why people sabotage success. Success doesn't match their identity, so they return to comfort. Programming happens through repetition, emotion, authority, experience. If someone important in your life repeated something about you, you believed it. If you experienced strong emotional failure, you created a belief. If you repeated negative self-talk, it became identity. Your subconscious doesn't judge. It just records, and then it plays it back. You are not stuck. You are programmed, and programming can be changed. But not through motivation, through repetition, through emotional intensity, through new actions, through consistency. Step 1. Awareness. Notice your patterns. When do you quit? When do you doubt? When do you escape? Step 2. Interrupt. When the old pattern appears, pause. Step 3. Replace. Choose a new action, not once, repeatedly, because repetition builds new wiring. If you don't control your subconscious, you repeat yesterday. But if you reprogram your subconscious, you redesign tomorrow. Your mind is not your enemy. It is a tool. But if you never train it, it runs default settings. And default settings create average results. You were not born weak. You were programmed unconsciously. Now you are becoming aware. And awareness is the first step to power. Chapter 4. The Power of Belief. What you believe becomes your limit. There is something more powerful than intelligence, more powerful than talent, more powerful than opportunity. Belief. Because belief decides how much of your potential you will use. Two people can have the same skill. But if one believes I can grow, and the other believes I'm limited, their results will be completely different. Why? Because belief determines effort, and effort determines outcome. A belief is not just an idea. It is something you accept as true without questioning. For example, I'm bad at public speaking. I'm not good with money. I'm not disciplined. I'm not confident. People like me don't succeed. You may think these are facts, but they are not facts. They are beliefs, and beliefs are learned, not born. Beliefs are built from childhood experiences, emotional events, repeated failure, other people's words, society's opinions, your own repeated thoughts. Maybe you failed once. Then your mind said, "See, I'm not good." And that one event became a belief. And that belief became a limit. And that limit shaped your future. Without you even noticing. Beliefs are invisible. You don't see them. But they shape everything. If you believe money is hard to make, you won't try fully. If you believe I always quit, you will quit again. If you believe I can't change, you won't push yourself. Belief controls behavior silently. Your belief system is like a ceiling. If you believe you deserve small success, you will never rise above that. Not because you are incapable, because your mind won't allow it. Your subconscious tries to stay consistent with your beliefs. So if you believe you are average, you will unconsciously act average. To change your life, you must upgrade your belief system. Step 1. Identify it. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? Write it down. Step 2. Question it. Is this belief based on one failure, one person's opinion, one past event? Step 3. Replace it. Instead of, I'm not disciplined, say, I am learning discipline. Instead of, I'm bad at this, say, I'm improving at this. The new belief must feel possible, not fake. Then reinforce it with action. Because action makes belief stronger. You will never outperform your belief system. So if your life feels limited, check your beliefs. Because once you raise the ceiling in your mind, your life rises naturally. Chapter 5. The Self-Talk Rule. The voice that builds or breaks you. When you fail, what do you say? When you make a mistake, what do you say? When you feel tired, what do you say? Most people say things like, I'm so stupid. Why do I always mess up? I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Would you talk to your best friend like that? No. But you talk to yourself like that, and that voice shapes your identity. Your subconscious listens to your words. It doesn't know if you are joking. It doesn't know if you are emotional. It just records repetition. If you repeatedly say, I'm lazy, your brain accepts it. If you repeatedly say, I can't, your brain reduces effort. If you repeatedly say, I'll fail, your body loses energy. Self-talk creates programming. Inside you, there are two voices. The critic, you're not enough. The coach, try again. The critic, you always quit. The coach, learn from this. The critic weakens you. The coach strengthens you. Most people let the critic speak louder. That is why they stay stuck. Imagine someone learning English. They make a mistake while speaking. Their internal voice says, you're embarrassing yourself. That person will speak less next time. Another person makes the same mistake. Their internal voice says, good. That's progress. That person will speak more next time. Same mistake, different self-talk, different future. First, become aware. Notice your language. Then replace destructive words with constructive ones. Not fake positivity, real leadership. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, say, I'm still learning. Instead of, I failed, say, I got feedback. Instead of, I can't handle this, say, this is uncomfortable, but I'll grow. Words matter, because words create identity. If you become your own supportive coach, your growth accelerates. If you become your own enemy, your growth stops. Your mind listens to you. So speak carefully, speak powerfully, speak responsibly. Because the person you talk to most in life is yourself. And that voice either builds your future or destroys it. Chapter 6. Focus is a superpower. Scattered minds. Stay average. The modern world is designed to destroy your focus. Notifications, scrolling, short videos, messages, noise, comparison, multitasking. Your brain is constantly pulled in 10 different directions. And a distracted mind can never become powerful. Most people don't fail because they are not intelligent. They fail because they are distracted. They start something, then switch, then scroll, then reply, then overthink, then delay. Their mind is constantly jumping. And when your mind jumps, your progress stops, because focus is depth, and depth creates mastery. Every time you switch tasks, your brain loses energy. It takes time to refocus. That's why after scrolling for 30 minutes, you feel tired but did nothing. You didn't work, you didn't build, you didn't improve, but your brain is exhausted. That is the cost of scattered attention. Focus means one task, one direction, one intention, full presence. It means when you study, you only study. When you work, you only work. When you train, you only train. When you speak, you fully listen. Most people are never fully present. Their body is in one place. Their mind is somewhere else. That is weakness. Presence is power. Start small. 20 minutes. No phone, no distraction. One task. Train your mind like a muscle. When your mind wants to escape, bring it back. At first, it feels hard, but that resistance is training. And once your focus improves, your speed improves. Your confidence improves. Your results improve. Focus is a superpower because a focused person becomes dangerous in a world of distraction. If you can control your attention, you control your future. Because attention decides what grows in your life. Where focus goes, growth follows. Guard your attention. It is more valuable than... Chapter 7. Mental discipline. Control your thoughts instead of reacting. This chapter separates powerful people from emotional ones. Most people live reactively. Something happens. They react. Someone insults them. They explode. Something fails. They quit. Something feels uncomfortable. They avoid. They are controlled by impulse. Impulse is dangerous. Reaction is instant. Response is intentional. Reaction is emotional. Response is strategic. Reaction is weak. Response is powerful. A reactive mind is unstable. An intentional mind is disciplined. When you react emotionally, you say things you regret. You quit too early. You make bad decisions. You damage relationships. You destroy momentum. Most life problems are not from intelligence. They are from emotional reaction. One angry message, one impulsive decision, one emotional argument, and years of effort collapse. That is how dangerous reaction is. Pause before you respond. When something triggers you, don't answer immediately. Take 5 to 10 seconds. Breathe. Ask, what is the smartest move here? That small pause creates control. Control creates power. 2 employees receive criticism from their boss. Employee A reacts, gets angry, complains, feels attacked, stops trying. Employee B pauses, listens, reflects, improves. After 1 year, who grows faster? The one who controlled emotion. Not because criticism felt good, because discipline felt stronger than ego. Notice your triggers. What makes you angry? What makes you anxious? What makes you insecure? Delay reaction. Train your pause. Choose long-term over short-term emotion, because emotional satisfaction is temporary. Strategic response is powerful. Weak minds react. Strong minds choose. Life will test you constantly. Disrespect, failure, stress, pressure. If you react every time, you lose energy. If you respond strategically, you gain power. Mental discipline is not about being emotionless. It is about being in control. And the person who controls themselves cannot be controlled by others. Chapter 8. Visualization. See it before it exists. Every building you see, every invention, every achievement, every success story existed in someone's mind first. Before it became real, it was imagined. Your brain cannot fully separate imagination from reality. When you imagine something clearly and emotionally, your brain activates similar neural pathways as real experience. That means your mind trains for the future before it arrives. This is not magic. This is mental rehearsal. Most people think visualization means just imagine success and it will happen. No, that is fantasy. Real visualization is detailed, it is intentional, it is emotional, it is connected to action. You don't just see the result, you see the process. You see yourself working, struggling, improving, continuing, winning slowly. Visualization without action is daydreaming. Visualization with action is programming. Your subconscious mind listens to repetition and emotion. If you repeatedly visualize yourself as confident, your brain starts accepting it as possible. If you repeatedly imagine speaking confidently, your anxiety reduces. If you repeatedly see yourself disciplined, your behavior slowly aligns. Because the brain likes familiarity. And visualization makes success feel familiar. So when the opportunity appears, you don't freeze. You act. Imagine someone afraid of public speaking. Every night, they close their eyes and imagine, standing calmly, speaking clearly, feeling steady, seeing people listening, finishing strong. They feel the emotion of confidence. They repeat this daily. After 30 days, when they actually stand on stage, it doesn't feel completely new. Their brain has been there before. So fear reduces, confidence increases, action becomes easier. That is mental rehearsal. And that is power. Step 1. Be specific. Don't imagine success. Imagine clear scenes. Step 2. Add emotion. Feel pride. Feel calm. Feel strength. Step 3. See obstacles. See yourself overcoming difficulty. Step 4. Act daily. Visualization must be followed by real effort. Because your mind believes what you repeatedly see and feel. And eventually, it becomes your identity. If you don't consciously create mental pictures, your fear will create them for you. And fear-based imagination is destructive, but future-based imagination is powerful. See who you want to become. See it daily, then act like it. Your mind will slowly accept the new version. And once your mind accepts it, reality follows. Chapter 9. Kill the victim mindset. Take back control. This chapter is uncomfortable, but powerful. There are two ways to live: as a victim, or as a creator. A victim says, "It's not my fault. I can't because they stopped me. Life is unfair." A creator says, "What can I control? What can I improve? What can I change? What is my next move?" Same life, different mind, different results. Because it feels safe. If you blame others, you protect your ego, but you lose your power. Blame gives comfort, but removes control. When you blame, you wait. You complain, you justify. You stay stuck, and stuck becomes normal. Life is not always fair, but responsibility gives power. Even if something was not your fault, it is still your responsibility to respond. That shift changes everything. Because responsibility creates action, and action creates progress. Notice your language. If you say, I can't because, stop. Replace it with, how can I? That small shift creates possibility. Victim mindset focuses on obstacles. Creator mindset focuses on solutions. When you accept responsibility, you feel pressure. But that pressure is powerful. Because now the control is in your hands. You don't need perfect conditions. You need internal ownership. The moment you stop blaming, you start building. And building changes life. Chapter 10. Reprogram your identity. Become the new version of you. You can set big goals. You can feel motivated. You can write plans. But if your identity stays the same, your results will stay the same. What is identity? Identity is how you see yourself. It is the sentence you repeat internally. I am. I am lazy. I am shy. I am unlucky. I am bad with money. I am not confident. I am not disciplined. These sentences are powerful because your brain tries to stay consistent with your identity. If you believe I am not disciplined, you will unconsciously avoid disciplined actions. If you believe I am not confident, you will unconsciously avoid bold actions. Not because you can't, because your brain wants consistency. Let's say someone says, I want to wake up at 5 a.m., but deep inside they believe, I'm not a morning person. Guess what happens? They wake up early for a few days, then they return to old habits. Because identity pulls them back. Identity is stronger than motivation. Identity changes through repeated proof, not positive thinking. Proof. Small consistent actions that confirm a new belief. Instead of saying, I want to be disciplined. Say, I am becoming disciplined. Then prove it daily. Wake up on time. Finish small tasks. Control your phone. Exercise. Each action is evidence, and evidence rewires identity. You cannot build a powerful life with a weak identity. Upgrade your identity and your standards rise. Upgrade your standards and your behavior rises. Upgrade your behavior and your life rises. Everything begins with I am. Be careful what follows that sentence. Chapter 11. Emotional energy. Your mind follows your feelings. Most people think life is logical. It is not. Life is emotional. Your emotions control your energy. Your energy controls your action. Your action controls your results. Emotion strengthens memory. Emotion strengthens belief. Emotion strengthens programming. If you experience failure with intense emotion, your brain remembers it deeply. If you experience success with strong emotion, your brain remembers it deeply. Emotion is like glue. It makes thoughts stick. They live in negative emotional states. Stress, anger, jealousy, fear, resentment, comparison. When you live in these emotions daily, your brain programs negativity. Then even small problems feel huge. Your mind becomes heavy. Your energy drops. Your confidence drops. Your mind follows your emotional state. If you feel strong, you think stronger thoughts. If you feel weak, you think weaker thoughts. That is why emotional management is critical. Imagine two people preparing for a competition. One constantly feels anxious and doubtful. Their energy is low. Their body is tense. Their thoughts are negative. The other person feels excited and focused. Their energy is high. Their body is ready. Their thoughts are strong. Who performs better? The one with better emotional state. Same skill, different energy, different result. Step 1. Move your body. Emotion is physical. Change posture. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Step 2. Control input. What you watch, what you listen to, what you consume affects your emotional state. Step 3. Practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to abundance. Step 4. Do hard things. Hard actions create powerful emotions. If you let your emotions control you, your life becomes unstable. If you learn to shift your emotional state, you become powerful. Strong mind, strong energy, strong direction. You cannot think powerful thoughts while living in constant negativity. Protect your emotional state, because your mind builds from it. Chapter 12. Train your mind through discomfort. Pain is the gym of the brain. Let me tell you something most people avoid hearing. Your mind does not grow in comfort. It grows in resistance. Every time you avoid discomfort, your mind becomes weaker. Every time you face discomfort, your mind becomes stronger. This is not motivational talk. This is neurological truth. Your brain builds new strength when it faces challenge, just like muscles grow when they are stressed, because they avoid everything uncomfortable. Hard conversations, difficult tasks, rejection, criticism, cold mornings, silence, loneliness, failure. They escape, they scroll, they distract, they delay, they numb, and every time they escape, their mind learns discomfort is danger. So next time discomfort appears, fear increases, and fear controls them more. This is how weakness is built, not in one big failure, but in thousands of small avoidances. If it feels uncomfortable, it is probably growth. If it feels easy all the time, it is probably stagnation. Comfort feels good now, but it steals your future. Discomfort feels painful now, but it builds your future. You must decide which pain you prefer: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Because regret is heavier, and it lasts longer. Imagine someone who is afraid of speaking in public. Every time they get an opportunity, they avoid it. Their fear grows. Now imagine they decide, I will speak, even if my voice shakes. The first time is uncomfortable. The second time is uncomfortable. The third time is slightly easier. After months, confidence appears, not because fear disappeared, but because repetition in discomfort built mental strength. The same applies to everything: gym, business, English, leadership, life. Discomfort is the training ground. Every day, do one thing that challenges you. Not extreme, but uncomfortable. Speak up. Wake up early. Finish a hard task first. Say no. Have a difficult conversation. Push through one extra minute. These small daily discomforts build resilience, and resilience creates unstoppable confidence. When you train your mind through discomfort, you stop fearing pressure. You stop fearing failure. You stop fearing judgment. Because you have proof. Proof that you can handle it. And once you believe you can handle life, life stops feeling scary. That is power. Your life will not change when the world changes. It will change when your mind changes. You can blame the economy. You can blame your past. You can blame your parents. You can blame your mistakes. But the moment you decide, my mind is under my control, everything shifts. You are not your past failures. You are not your old identity. You are not your fears. You are the one observing them. And the observer has power. Right now, at this moment, you have two choices. Let your mind run on old programming, or reprogram it. Let fear lead, or let discipline lead. Let excuses speak, or let growth speak. No one else can make that choice for you. Not motivation, not inspiration, not opportunity. Only you. Your mind is not weak. It is just untrained. Train it, discipline it, feed it carefully, protect it, Strengthen it daily, because once your mind becomes strong, life becomes lighter. Problems become lessons. Pressure becomes fuel. Failure becomes feedback. And success becomes possible. This is not magic. This is mental mastery. And mental mastery changes everything. Remember this. Before you win in the world, you must win in your mind. Before you change your life, you must change your thinking. And once your thinking changes, your direction changes. And once your direction changes, your destiny follows. Your mind can be your prison or your weapon. Decide today, train it, and build the life you deserve.